So let's just talk about the CBT conference in March.
Okay.
Everyone's excited about it. It's in Atlanta.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll get some warm weather, but we'll see about that. Talk to our audience about what they can expect and see in your keynote at the CBT conference March 7th through 9th.
I think the reason I've, knock on wood, had a good speaking career is I don't have a set presentation. It's living and breathing. What I try to focus on, to be very frank with all of you, is how do I bring you the most value? I think a lot of speakers use their keynote when they're fancy schmancy people that write books and try the life I live of, like, I think they're press releases, right? They're like, let me tell you my story, and you're supposed to extract information. I think what I'm gonna try to do there is give a very hardcore State of the Union on what's happening with the end consumer's attention. And the history of being, I've spoken at a lot of events in this space. I've got apps that I'm a consultant in this space. Toyota is one of VaynerMedia's biggest clients, and we understand the tier 3 market. I think I'm educated enough to understand, what are you spending your money on, time and energy, training your employees? Like, what are your goals with your business? This is a business conference.
Right.
I mean, we're not there to talk about the future or so to me, I just think the far majority of you are wasting time, money, and energy on things that were relevant in 2007, in 2001, in 1984. And I want to talk as a businessman who's built actual businesses. This isn't about impressions. This isn't about awards. This isn't who made the coolest video of a car driving fast. This is about selling shit.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to curse a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to you about what I would do if I bought 7 car dealerships tomorrow. What would I spend my money on? And it would be less direct mail and billboards and newspaper and radio, and it would be more Instagram influencers and Facebook ads and all these things. And why do I believe that? Where's the opportunity? How would I go about getting there? What do you need to do internally on your team? What do you need to do externally on your team? And very frank, the real reason I pop, I think, on stage is, who knows? Because today's January whatever, and we still got 9 weeks.
Right.
And the way I talk about Instagram today is fundamentally different than the way I talked about Instagram 120 days ago.
Yeah.
Because they made changes to their features.
Right.
There's different things you can do, and I'm seeing different results.
Right.
So it's going to be a business talk that will be fairly entertaining, but most of all, 80% of the people will not agree with me or fully get it. And then in 2019 and 2020, they'll say, crap, that dude was right. That's what's gonna happen.
Right. So I was gonna get into the dynamics of tier 3, right? They're
Mom and pop.
Mom and pop, right?
I don't know if you guys want to zoom in, and I don't know how you guys want to edit this video, but you should really, really just zoom in on this, thing right here, because I'm mom and pop.
I know you are.
I'm sure that's why you asked the question.
That's right.
My friends, I have good news. I'm just like you. My dad had a $3.6 million a year revenue liquor store, one store unit in New Jersey. I came to this country with nothing. My dad did. I was a 4-year-old child. He made $2 an hour. I worked as a 13-year-old in his small store in Springfield, learned the business. Plenty of you watching, I've really learned your space. That's why I love you guys so much. That's why I want to do this.
Right.
You grew up at your grandpappy's shop. You bought into the business, or you grinded, saved all your money for 18 years and bought your own dealership. I know what you're dealing with. Like, this is very much my domain. This is about selling and marketing, and I'm very empathetic. My first marketing budget for Wine Library, I built that business from 3 to 60 million with a $8,000 marketing budget as the first year's budget.
Wow.
I had no money.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you have no money, when you guys are spending $20,000 a year or $8,000 a month, you can't waste it.
Right.
And the only way not to waste it is to buy something that people don't think is valuable.
Right.
You're overpaying for radio, billboard, local commercials because it's established.
Right.
You're underbuying an influencer who's taking a selfie at your car lot for $58 or $290 or $4,000, but is worth $80,000 because 857,000 people follow them on Instagram.
Right.
This is basic, but it's not basic to people that are slight winners, micro winners, solid winners. It's basic to what I want to be, which is an all-time winner. And I'm trying to help people underneath because it gives me legacy. I want everybody, I'm done, this is how I live my life. I'm doing this energy, I'm forcing you, I'm suffocating, I'm not wavering, not because of anything other than it's the only way to get you guys and gals to do something that you don't know or understand. And then I'm waiting for the email in 3.5 years, like I get every single day, that's like, holy crap, I didn't believe you. I heard you speak here. The first year sucked, nothing happened, but it's happening. My YouTube channel did this, or I sold 4 cars from my one Instagram photo.
How do you get them to take that leap of faith?
I do it aggressively, as you're seeing in this interview.
Yeah.
I punch them in the face. I give them no wiggle room. I don't pander to them. I tell them they're big fucking boys and girls. Like, this is what's up.
Right.
And I don't give a shit if they do it or not.
Right.
I'm coming to Atlanta to bring it.
Right.
And then I don't care. You're not my mom.
Right.
I don't give a crap if any of them do it.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So growing up in dealerships, and our dad had a long career in automotive, he liked to say that dealers like to have a checkbook remedy, right? If I got a problem, I want to be able to write a check and someone else fixes it, a vendor, a marketing company, whatever. And a lot of what I've heard you say is that there may be a part of that, but for a lot of these stores, you know, dedicate the resources on the personnel inside. They're going to be the best.
To me, I don't care. Yeah, great question. I don't care how one does it. I think one person has to be knowledgeable about it, and I actually think it's the person that's writing the check. You can get hosed by, people are like, oh, agencies, are they hosing me?
Right.
Your employee could be hosing you too.
Right.
Do you know how many of you have a marketing director that sucks shit? Let me help you answer the question. 98%.
Right.
So
How do you hold the marketing guy accountable? That
by
sucks
being
shit.
by being knowledgeable as the owner.
There you go.
I know more about social media than every single person that works for me.
Right.
If you own a business and you have aspirations for it to be successful, you should spend the 15 hours to become more educated on this thing. Watch my videos, watch other people's things, read a couple books. I don't have any empathy for an owner saying, woe is me. Put in the work.
Right.
So that's number one.
Yeah.
And then, the benefits of hiring an agency like Vayner is we're working across the whole web, across all different sectors, and we see a lot of things. If you hire somebody who's just in your world and just looking at your agency, they don't have that breadth. That's why historically people have used outside, and that's theoretically right. But then by you being great, you'll know if you're getting good work or not. We only do well with smart clients. Vayner has not been successful in growing with B and C. My big strategy for 17 is how do we do better with people that don't get it?
Right.
Because we're like so scary that we lose the pitch every time.
Right.
The reason we've exploded is when we win, we grow like crazy.
They're not ready for you.
They're not
back in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see that. So okay, on that same kind of thought pattern, growing up, with your dad running the wine, I think that we're finding a lot of our clients are second, third generation car dealers that are taking over granddad's or dad's store. I mean, that's happening all over the country. And there is this complete different mentality of how they look to run the store versus how dad and granddad ran the store.
My dad,
we're finding a lot of challenges.
Right.
There's no such thing as two cooks in the kitchen.
Right.
The reason there's so much friction is because there's two cooks in the kitchen.
So true.
Yeah.
Grandpappy, dad doesn't want to fully give it up. They want granddad and grandpappy and dad want to have their cake and eat it too. Mm-hmm. You got to play the actual game of meritocracy. And so either you're good enough or you're not. And if you're not getting the chance, go stick it to them. Nothing feels better to me than to prove to people that don't think I can win. This company is the best. When I started VaynerMedia, big Madison Avenue agencies, billion-dollar holding companies, people said the Twitter wine boy is thinking, sticking it to their face, that's the most delicious. So if you're so good, go do it.
You know what we're actually seeing this
Kind of cool, actually.
We're seeing an interesting dynamic. So when you just referenced the 71-year-old that's handing off to the 50-year-old, right? But we're seeing
the 23-year-old
35 or the 23-year-old come in. Now here's what's interesting. Granddad is buying into grandson.
More than
dad
that.
Running it day to day is out on both. He's like, no, we've done it this way. This is the way the business is headed.
That makes sense.
And we've got granddad going, we got to listen to Junior. Junior's going, I know I'm taking it over. It's my thing. He wants to stay. He's got granddad bought in. But at the end of the day, his dad, the 56-year-old's running the dealership group. How do you...
Every family's different.
Right.
Now the biggest question, who's the most talented? You know how many 57s are way more talented than 23? Yeah, 23 may know Instagram better. That doesn't mean you know how to run the business better.
Right.
Let's not get confused here of like understanding how to make content on the internet as the proxy.
Sell cars.
Correct.
Right, absolutely.
You know, I'm gonna come and talk to you about the thing you're spending your money on to sell more cars. We're going into some interesting business dynamics now, which I'm a businessman.
Right.
I'm a great marketer, but I'm a businessman. Like, there's plenty of 57-year-olds that know how to run the business way better.
Right.
Like the third can come in there and screw shit up.
Yeah.
Now, do I think the third should maybe have an at-bat to run the marketing budget for a year or two to see if she or he is good enough at that then may be a proxy to running the whole thing. That I do think. I do think it's 57's responsibility to help 23 get an at-bat to prove themselves. If they have a dealership group and you don't have the ability to let Junior take one dealership and do their own thing, that's what I would do.
Right.
If I had 6 locations, I would absolutely give 23-year-old Xander or Misha, say, okay, Misha, you think you're a tough big shot? Here's the proper allocation of the marketing budget. So we spend $6 million on these 6. Here's $1 million.
Yep.
You run it.
Yep.
I love you, you're my daughter, so you can even pick 2 or 3 employees from the other 5.
Yeah.
I want you to win.
Yeah.
Show me, and then you see what happens.
Right.
Because that's what happened. My dad kind of gave me that first summer.
Okay.
Like we went from 3 to 10 in 5 seconds. So there was no debating after the first minute. It was all over.
Right.
I would do that too.
Okay.
You know, that's what makes me mad. They're not giving kids a shot.
Right.
You can still control everything and you can give them a shot.
Right.
If you have 1 unit, harder.
Right.
But when you have 6 kitchens, give the kid a shot.
Exactly. I want to talk about the whole millennial car buyer. So many of our clients hold us to this, you know, we're a strong digital focus, and they always go, yeah, but that's for the millennial car buyer, and they don't, they don't understand everybody is digital. It starts with mobile, and that's a big challenge.
Can you answer me why people love a television commercial? It's called ego. I got a challenge for you. Turn off all your media for a month. I've thrown this out to car dealerships. You've heard about this? Mm-hmm. Turn your media off. Turn your media off for the month of March. Don't run anything. Tell me what happens. Let me save you time. A stunning majority of you are not going to feel any effect. And then you're going to realize how much you're throwing in the trash. And then all of a sudden, taking that money and putting it into this new stuff might be interesting.
That's right.